Hi, Shuttle. This is Flight Safety. Keep your hands on the handrail or inside the vehicle and remain seated while in motion. You are clear for launch.
Hello and greetings, everyone. My name's David, and I'm here with...
Justin.
You're sticking with that robotic intro, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, well, anyway, and this is Mickey's Earbuds. We're glad that you're back here with us today, and we're going to start a little different today. Usually we end with this segment, but we figured let's have fun and start with it, and we're going to open up with a Pass the Parlay. Today's discussion topic is glow gear and glow merch.
Specifically during your nighttime spectaculars, to glow or not to glow? That is the question.
And I will be taking actually the affirmative on this.
And that leaves me with the negative.
And so I guess as the one, I guess we should begin. Now, since I'm taking I'm not sure how you start it. So I have my finger on my nose first. That means you're at first.
No, actually, in a debate, usually the affirmative starts the debate, then the negative comes in.
I'm sorry, but the nose rule always wins. You are first.
Well, I'm sorry, but we are not connected by video, therefore I don't care.
This is where you just have to trust me. Go ahead.
No, I don't like this idea. See, you prepared before I did, so you should really go first. By the way, we're having a Pass the Parlay now on the Justin goes first. Dave has taken the affirmative position on that one as well, and I am clearly taking the negative position. Dave, you're going first. Sorry.
Okay. I am nothing if not,
You had help from your wife. You admitted it to me.
Yeah, you should see some of these. This is why I'm going to win, because my wife is better at this. Anyway, so why you should buy and use glowing merch and gear. Well, first and foremost, you should use glow gear because it will help you look absolutely and utterly fab. Really, being fab is what you want to do when you're at Disney.
Oh my gosh.
As my interlocutor here would say, it's better to be cute than comfortable.
Oh my gosh.
When you're fab, you're even better than cute. And sticking with the fab argument, it looks great on Instagram. And it'll up your Instagram game exponentially. And you have to remember your ABI, which is you always be influencing. Always be influencing. When you got your glow gear on, people are like, dang, those sparkling Christmas lights around your neck, ooh, they're on point.
And I can tell that one definitely came from your wife.
And they're so on point, this brings me to my next point, which is sparkling things and glow gear will match whatever outfit that you are wearing that day. I mean, when your nails are on point, or in Justin's case, his Hawaiian shirt is on point, or on fleek, as the kids say these days. The Christmas lights around his neck, the pumpkins around his neck, boom. His wife will be like, I'm proud that this is my man. As would all wives with all their men. On a more practical side of things, you'll always be able to tell who your family is because you'll be that family with the sparkle gear, with the glow gear. You're going to be like, wow, the whole clan of 7 of them, they all have that same thing. And finally, again, it's fun, memorable addition to your vacation. I mean, just one day when you're going through your stuff, you find all the Disney bags in the back of your closet, you find those glow gear things, you're like, that was a great night. And even better fireworks with great company. And I know that I look fab. And you can look on your Instagram feed and see just how many likes you got because you've done the ABIing. Always be influencing. All right, my friend, it's your turn.
All right. Well, first, I got to say, you're talking about all this, being fab, standing out, and putting your glow on and everything. Can I just put out an argument for introverts of the world unite, but at a set amount of time for like 5 minutes because we really don't like to see each other. So introverts of the world, let's unite behind this point together. Ready? Say it with me. Do you really want to stand out that much? Because I don't think you do. It's just not our way, and there's a lot of introverts out there. I mean, I know my buddy Dave, definitely the extroverted one of the two of us. I'm definitely the introverted one. Glow gear, I just don't want to stand out that much. Yes, I do wear Hawaiian shirts, but that's because they're comfortable, not because, not because they're loud or anything like that. Second thing is, you know what? It's a nighttime spectacular. It's dark, and your light is distracting me. Seriously, it's distracting me. It's distracting everyone. We want to see the only lights that matter that are coming from center stage, be it the Magic Kingdom behind the castle with the fireworks, or at Fantasmic with Mickey Mouse shooting things out of his sleeves, or at Epcot with things going over the World Showcase Lagoon. You name it. Yeah, you want to see that. You don't want to see all the lights that somebody's dazzling right in front of your face, which also brings me to a sub-bullet of that thing. Seizures, anybody? Flashing lights like right in front of your face like that? Have you seen these glow carts come out and all those flashing lights? I mean, I'm not epileptic, and it's a good thing, man, because I do not want to have those kinds of seizures on my Disney vacation, honestly. And my final point is, yeah, you're going to dig out that glow gear that you probably shouldn't have purchased. But you dig out that glow gear at your house, and it's old. And the thing you're not realizing here is you paid such a high price because, Disney, things are at a premium. You paid such a high price for something that you could probably get on eBay or Amazon for half that price, but it's got such a short battery life, and the batteries, let's face it, if you can replace them at all, they're not like AA, AAA batteries. They're not something you just keep on hand. You have to order special batteries for them too. Those little lithium ones, and who knows, by that point they're probably corroded over and your device is useless. So it's like, oh, that was a nice memory, but it's junk now because I can't turn it on anyway. So that's all I have. So, counterpoint, David?
I think actually now it's you. We go into question and answer time, and since I went first, you get first questions.
Man, I do not study the rules of this game.
No, I'm trying not to study the rules of the game.
Question and answer time. What kind of question would I have for you? So what do you do with that glow gear when you've found out that the batteries are encrusted over and, oh yeah, by the way, you don't carry that kind of battery in stock? As a matter of fact, really, nobody carries that battery in stock because it's useless.
Well, this is when it falls back to my ABI. Since you always be influencing, you would look at your Instagram and go, that memory, sweet, sweet in my brain. And then you'd look at your calendar and say, when we be going back? So you might once again plan ahead to get it again. Because, next year's are going to be different.
I don't really have a question for you, but more of a critique, really. Always be influencing. When we be going back. You ain't no gangsta. Use your full sentences. You're married to a writer, for crying out loud. Sorry. It had to be said. It had to be said. The grammar police in me just had to come out into the open there, and there it is. Sorry, I just had to go there.
So is that all you have for me?
Well, I think really I made like the most valid points here. So, I mean, I could ask questions about your points, but that would, in a sense, kind of give them validation, as if they need something needs to be clarified when it doesn't.
All right, well then I guess it's my turn for questions. So,
Bring it.
when is the last time you had an epileptic fit?
Never ago, but I'm just thinking of people who do, you know? I'm just thinking of people who do. Strobe lights and things like that do not necessarily go well with everybody.
So, if introverts are so introverted, why do they let you know they're introverted?
It's a quiet club. And honestly, we don't always let each other know that we're introverted. You can just tell. You can just tell. You could tell the day you met me. You could tell. The guy that, that just kind of wanders into the room and not really associating with anybody. You found that. You figured it out on your own. There's lots of us out there.
There's lots of us out there. All right, I just need to know. And finally, do you like it when your family knows how to find you?
My family knows how to find me. It's called a cell phone.
I see.
Booyah! Booyah!
I think my ABI influencing the need that you have even said, the need to be cute. These are arguments that are just insurmountable to climb. Even introverts have Instagram, and even they need to make sure that they are on fleek, as the kids would say.
I don't. I'm not.
I know. It's old man hours over here.
No, it's a choice. It's an intense personal choice.
I know. It's a choice for old man hour. And that's my closing question. Any final statements?
No final statements here.
All right, my final statement is, hey y'all, let your light shine before men.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Friends, listeners, this is why you don't argue with pastors. They get all theological on you. Anyway, obviously, pass the parlay. It's all in good fun and everything. We're not seriously insulting each other. And full disclosure, I have purchased some Glow merch in the past. So that's kind of how I knew about the batteries.
Oh boy.
All right, well, let's move into our next segment. This one, very excited about this one. Of course, when are we not excited? This is why we talk about it. But we're doing another Land in Focus this time, and this time it's Tomorrowland, not the movie, but the land at the theme parks. And for that, we need to go back to the immortal words of Walter Elias Disney when he dedicated Tomorrowland at Disneyland theme park in California. Of course, since then, the land has been duplicated across many of Disney's theme parks around the world. But this is what he said when he dedicated Disneyland. Quote, "A vista into a world of wondrous ideas signifying man's achievements, a step into the future with predictions of constructed things to come. Tomorrow offers new frontiers in science, adventure, and ideals, the atomic age, the challenge of outer space, and the hope for a peaceful, unified world." During the dedication, Walt Disney started speaking, and that was it. Okay, sorry. There was a whole extra paragraph there, and it's not quite clear where his words end and the next person's begins. But fun fact, apparently, during the dedication, Walt Disney started speaking. He was told that he wasn't yet on air and then had to restart once the television viewers were watching. So anyway, he actually started that dedication speech twice. Anyway.
Wow. Good for him. That's good.
Yeah, apparently I made a similar mistake. So, Walt, I feel you, man.
You're in good company.
Yep.
And by you, I mean you, not him.
Yeah.
No offense. I mean, we both want to be in good company with Walt.
Yeah.
So, a Land in Focus, this is our segment we've been doing for a little bit, where we really look at a certain area, in this case Tomorrowland, We give our feelings, our experiences, and just a little history. So, Justin, favorite ride? 3, 2, 1.
Space Mountain.
Second favorite ride?
Carousel Progress.
Boom. Those are my favorite two as well. What is your best memory on those two rides?
Well, the nice thing about those two rides is I was able to do both of them on my very first trip when I was but a wee little lad in the early 90s. And I still remember them very vividly. The Carousel of Progress, always a wonderful thing to revisit in my trips to Disney World. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. And one of the reasons I love it so much is that Walt Disney himself designed it. And no, we're not talking about Walt Disney design an incarnation of it that's actually a Disneyland like Pirates of the Caribbean, and they copied it for Walt Disney World. Carousel of Progress at Disney World, at Magic Kingdom theme park in that land, is the Carousel of Progress that Walt Disney designed or had made for the 1964 World's Fair, I believe.
Yeah.
And so it was showcased there, and then I think they took it to Disneyland for a little bit, and then they actually moved it to Disney World, and it's been there ever since. So that is actually something that Walt personally has his fingerprints on it in places. And then Space Mountain, honestly, I knew it was a roller coaster. I had no idea what to expect, and to a degree, as many times as I've been on it, because it's a roller coaster that's in the dark and there's really no way to see where you're going, I still don't know what to expect when I'm on it, other than it is just super exciting. And to me, because just by virtue of not knowing where I'm going, it's my favorite roller coaster ever. It's one of those things that proves it doesn't have to be that fast and it doesn't have to be that high. It just needs to have that good element of show that, quite truthfully, Disney theme parks are famous for.
It's amazing. With the thinking of Carousel of Progress, it's a unique to Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
There isn't many things that are unique to Magic Kingdom, and that is definitely, it's like the Matterhorn for Disneyland and Anaheim.
Yes.
It is. I mean, yes, you could, as Justin said, it was in both places,
Mm-hmm.
but it is Magic Kingdom unique, which is so cool that we actually have something like that.
Yeah.
One of my favorite memories on that ride was I have two. Two, like the first or second time we ever rode that, my wife and I. The girl or that was managing it, who was saying, take your seats and so on and so forth. He's like, who's ready for 23 minutes of air conditioning? And the whole room went into clapping and laughter. It was really funny. And I'm pretty sure like the guy 2 rows behind us was just passed out sleeping in there. And my second favorite memory was there was a fault and the machine stopped working properly. And so they said, you're going to experience the same show twice. And then, so we heard it's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and did not move. I watched the exact same presentation again. And my wife and I have been on this thing so many times, we basically know it word for word.
Yep.
And so there are some grumbles in that room, but my wife and I were like, "Oh, this is great."
One of the things you're talking about, the funny interactions with cast members on that ride, is naturally the theme song when the ride first opened at the World's Fair, and the theme song today, they're the same. It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, where there was an intermediate time where the theme song was now is like this is the day, this is the best day, this is the best day of your life, or something like that.
Yep.
And or now, or ears out is, or now is the time, now is the best time, now is the best time of your life. I think that's what it really was. The cast member and only people who remember that song or know of it would get it. So it was a pretty good inside joke by a cast member. You don't hear them too often, especially by a younger cast member such as this was. We get in the ride. He said, "This ride this particular attraction lasts for 23 minutes, during which time you will not be able to exit to use the restroom. So if you need to go to the restroom, now is the time. Now is the best time. Now is the only time." So that was a good one too.
It's a really neat ride, according to Wikipedia. So I remember 23 minutes. It says it's 21 minutes. It's so there you go. Whatever. I'm not sure. Maybe it's changed or not.
Well, yeah, whatever it is.
It opened at Magic Kingdom. It did not open with the park. It opened January 15th in 1975. So it opened 4 years later.
Yeah.
Which, because, and we'll talk about it, Tomorrowland didn't open with much.
Right.
And so it was a big ad. It was the first stage. It was one of the, I think it was the first stage show in, other than what they had initially, first stage show in Tomorrowland. They had a stage set up there from what I was studying and reading, but that was it. It was also one of the longest running stage shows in the United States history.
Yeah.
And I don't know when they added the fourth act, but they have the 21st century, which only now are we starting to get ovens that you can tell to cook the turkey at what temperature.
Yeah.
Though I don't know if you can get them up to, what did they get it up to? Over 1,000 degrees?
Like 1,000 degrees or something like that, yeah.
I mean, maybe I need to look at my oven and see how high is the temperature on the oven. My wife
goes up to something like 500 degrees, maybe.
And my loving wife, who is, believe it or not, and I didn't ask her to, she did it out of the goodness of her heart, but she does this all the time anyway. Hello, bragging on your wife. It's making cookies, so she told me it is 550. So, yeah, so that hasn't happened. And then getting beat by your grandma in video games. Well, I'm sure one day that'll be the case when all of us have grandchildren. I worked with kids for a while. I used to say, "You guys were born after the internet. I grew up with it."
Yeah. Now, here's another fun thing about it is that, and we were talking about this before we started recording this, but Space Mountain, they originally were thinking about doing a copy of the Matterhorn out at the Magic Kingdom. So, but it wasn't really going to work out. So they ended up coming up with a new attraction using similar ride technology, and that's how Space Mountain came about. And so Space Mountain at the Magic Kingdom was the first Space Mountain, even though they've made versions of it at most of their theme parks around the world at this point. But the neat thing about that is, just like the Matterhorn, and then subsequently Space Mountain at the Magic Kingdom, these were Disney invented tube steel roller coasters.
Yeah.
They invented that technology. So anytime you go to like a Six Flags or Busch Gardens or something like that, and you're on a roller coaster that's made out of tube steel, this is like most of the roller coasters today, Disney invented that technology. And so that's pretty incredible when you think about it. So anytime you're on a tube steel roller coaster at Disney, it's like, these are the people that invented this stuff. They know what they're doing. And it's incredible. And like I said, between that and the show, really, in my opinion, nobody does roller coasters quite like Disney does. You can make them, other theme parks or amusement parks, they'll make like the tallest one or the fastest one or something like that, but it just still doesn't quite compare.
Yeah.
outside of just the physical sensation of, your stomach working its way up into your chest, other than that, it just no other roller coaster quite compares. So it's really neat how they do that and how they continue to carry on that technology and change it and grow it as they do across their theme parks. Now, David, here's a question for you. Do you know which resort at Walt Disney World is the only resort visible from the Magic Kingdom?
Only resort that's visible from the Magic Kingdom.
From actually like inside, you've gone underneath the train station and you can see the castle at this point. So like truly inside the Magic Kingdom, the only resort visible from that point.
I'm sure that's Bay Lake Towers.
Well, you're
Or
close. It's the Contemporary. And where is the only place it's visible? Like if you're looking at the Contemporary and Bay Lake Tower, which direction are you looking?
Well, you're looking at the park. It's to the east of it. It's southeast.
Yeah, but the point is you're going to see Tomorrowland in the foreground with the Contemporary Resort in the background. Believe it or not, that was actually very purposeful.
I am not even marginally surprised about that.
Yeah, so they figured that out. And another fun fact is that the Magic Kingdom area resorts are all themed in such a way that they kind of take their draw from some themed land inside the Magic Kingdom. Like the Polynesian is themed after Adventureland, Grand Floridian is themed after Main Street USA, and Fort Wilderness / Wilderness Lodge is themed after Frontierland. Well, then you have the Contemporary, it's themed after Tomorrowland, and it's being the only resort you can see from the park. You can really only see it with Tomorrowland in the foreground, which is really, really cool how they planned that out.
That is really neat. Now, did you know I think we talked about this beforehand, but we'll say this to everyone listening. Space Mountain is the oldest indoor dark coaster constantly running in the state of Florida. That's one of those things. It's just amazing to think about. Like that is, and of course there are two cars and there are two tracks. They have the Alpha track and the Omega track. I am not sure which one is better.
Yeah, I am not. I can't say I really hold a preference there. I've been on both tracks many times, and I just love the fact that I can't see where I'm going.
Though I'm looking at the stats, suppose it's saying here the Alpha track is longer, but they both finish somehow within the 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay. Makes
and
sense.
They both go. And this is something a lot of people don't realize. It's actually a really slow coaster.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's like 30 miles an hour, if that.
Yeah, 35 is its top speed, which, as you were saying, there are coasters that are significantly faster than that. But it always feels so fast, and I think that's because of the dark element, that you're in the dark.
Yeah. Now, of course, there are other attractions in Tomorrowland, like, for instance, the People Mover, which I don't know what your experience is on that, but I've always enjoyed it's just a nice leisurely, get off your feet and roll around Tomorrowland for a little while kind of a ride. I actually enjoy it very much.
Yeah, as the full name now is the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. They've dropped and added the People Mover over time.
Yeah.
Branding, y'all. But I really do enjoy. Again, let's just talk an experience. One of my favorite memories on the People Mover was there was a shutdown of Space Mountain because the People Mover goes through Space Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
And because they shut down Space Mountain, they turned on all the lights.
Mm-hmm.
And so we saw the skeleton of the tracks of Space Mountain while on the People Mover. It was actually one of the coolest things. And then also you can pass by Walt's original design and plan for Epcot.
Yeah.
which is really something else. That's something we're gonna have to talk about at some point.
Yeah.
Walt's true purpose behind Epcot. But
Yeah.
that's really cool. You go inside, of course, the Space Mountain on the People Mover. You see what's going on in there. It's just a fantastic little experience. I didn't know this. Did you know that the People Mover, which is no longer in existence in Disneyland, was originally sponsored by Goodyear, but because the People Mover in Walt Disney World Resort at Magic Kingdom didn't have tires, Goodyear wouldn't sponsor it.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's they had to get someone else to sponsor it as a result. I was like, oh, that's very interesting that they didn't do that. And
Yeah.
again, we're the only park with the People Mover now.
Yep. Another thing we've got there is Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin,
Yep.
which, if you've been on, I think it predates, you correct me on this, but I think it predates the Toy Story Mania ride. But the concept is similar in that it's both a ride and you're also shooting at targets and trying to rack up a high score.
Yeah, and that one was the one that kind of influenced the rest that would come out later, like
Yeah.
Toy Story Mania. There is the Monsters Inc. flashlight game at Tokyo Disneyland. It's the big because it came out in I think the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, 98. I'm looking at the data here. It was a soft opening.
Mm-hmm.
So that was again another Magic Kingdom first.
Yeah. Yep. So there they use actually like laser tag kind of technology instead of putting on 3D glasses and shooting 3D ammunition at 3D targets, which I think was fantastic and everything. But given its timing and everything, Space Ranger Spin was a neat concept, and I mean clearly because they took that concept and improved upon it, plussed it, if you will,
Oh yeah,
and into bigger and better things. The other thing I really enjoy there is Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. Have you ever been in Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor?
yes. I don't like that ride because I don't want to be called on. But yeah,
So have you ever been that guy?
no, I've never been that guy.
Oh, okay. I've never been that guy either, but twice. And I think it's probably because of my Hawaiian shirts. Once again, introverts don't want to stand out, but here we are. Because of my Hawaiian shirts, I'm pretty sure I got targeted twice for feels the urge to get up and dance.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, the disco lights flash and everything else, and uh what does it was it one time I didn't even like get up, I didn't even bother to get up from my seat. I was kind of tired, so I just kind of like did some dance moves right there in my seat without standing up. And the the monster, that the comedian monster that was on the floor at the time, he said, that guy's doing my favorite move, getting down while staying down. So that's it's a neat interactive show. If you've never tried it, you really should give it a shot. And it's neat how they do that, and they have the characters actually interact with the people in the audience, and the whole bit with that guy is just hilarious.
So here's the question for you, just going back to Buzz Lightyear. What's your highest score that you ever got that you can remember?
999,999.
Oh, you've actually done it? You've because
I did do that score one time, yeah.
I have never gotten that one. I have gotten up to I think like Space Ace, like between 300 and 600. But
Yeah.
once you look up online, they have all the cheetah codes and all the things that are worth lots of points to get.
But I do think they changed it because in my recent interactions with that, I haven't been able to get nearly that high score, and I know I've been shooting the high point targets.
Yeah,
So I think they might have changed it.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, oh, they put it online, quick. We
They
need it.
figured it out. Change it, change it, change it.
Now, do you like? Actually, it's gone now, right? The Stitch they changed it, and it's no longer Stitch's Alien Encounter. I think
Or
they
Stitch's Great Escape. Yeah, it
yeah.
was before Stitch's Great Escape. It was Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter, which was actually really quite the Extraterrestrial was actually really quite a scary attraction for Walt Disney caliber, but it was, I think, the longest running attraction that took that spot.
Hmm.
I'm not positive on that, but it actually had an 8 year span. Oh, I'm sorry. Stitch's Great Escape was the longest one to take that spot. And Stitch's Great Escape, well, let's just say I am a fan of Stitch, and you had to be a fan of Stitch to enjoy that program, that particular attraction, in my opinion. Not a lot of people enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was clever, especially having seen the movie Lilo and Stitch. I thought it was pretty clever how they did it. But yeah, not everybody really liked it too much. And I think one of the main turnoffs is at some point, Stitch apparently steals somebody's chili dog and then burps it in your face. So, and let me tell you, the smell of burped up chili dog was quite authentic.
Ooh.
Yeah, it seemed very, very, very real. But
My friend Cian, who is a cast member, would tell me that whenever she saw a person with a Stitch doll, she would stop them and say, "I see you have a little Stitch on your shirt."
nice.
The puns at Disney, that's a thing.
Yes, that's huge. Yeah. Disney can teach you a thing or two about puns and give you a lot of caliber for dad jokes as well.
Now, yeah, I've done the Stitch's Alien thing. The Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter, I know that one's still controversial because some people were like, it's too scary, that's not Disney. And people were like, how could they get rid of that? That was so Disney.
Yeah, I don't know. Put me on the fence on that one. Color
I
me
only,
undecided.
yeah, I only experienced the Stitch one, and it was okay.
Yeah.
The thing I'm looking forward to, which I think everyone's looking forward to,
Yep.
Tron.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I have a couple, again, from Cian. I have a couple of inside scoops. These are probably all publicly known already.
Uh-huh.
But the one in Magic Kingdom, because they first built it in Shanghai Disneyland.
Yeah.
It is their premier roller coaster out there. It was their unique, and now we're getting it as well. Our version is actually going to be faster.
Yeah, wow.
And of course, you ride the cycles outside and then back inside, which that's been shown if you've ever watched or seen the ride vehicles from the videos that they've done. You literally get locked into the vehicle, and of course, it's going to load at the back of the building downstairs, so you have to go around to it. Right now, it's so big they had to rearrange another thing in the Tomorrowland, the Tomorrowland Speedway. They had to actually change the course for this thing, and they had to rip up the railway in order to make room for this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they were considering, I heard they were considering even taking out the Speedway entirely, but there would have been too much of an uproar over that because the Speedway is actually quite a popular attraction.
I'm always mixed on that one, just going in that for a second. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it could use an update.
Yeah.
I think that they could use Disney's Cars property,
Uh-huh.
and that would be a good update. But I can see there would be, from old school Disney people, very vocal blowback on that one.
Yeah, you're always going to have that conflict. Anytime you change anything at Disney World, it's just going to be who's got the bigger outcry, the old school people or the people that are looking forward to what Disney's got with their other foot in the future, you know?
Yeah. But getting back to Tron, Tron will be one of the first times that Tomorrowland will feel futuristic again in the last few decades.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is because that's the constant problem with Tomorrowland, and we can actually get into this. Tomorrowland is always becoming outdated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's kind of the virtue of it being what it is. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you know this, they've actually updated Tomorrowland in Disneyland in Anaheim 3 times, and we're on our second update here in Magic Kingdom, and they're still doing small updates here and there. Like recently, they painted the rocks again and updated the coloring, make it more vibrant. And they
Yeah.
replaced the entrance sign, I think
I did
last
see
year.
that. Yeah. Yeah. It's actually very contemporary, the new entrance sign to Tomorrowland. It's not as busy as it used to be. Not nearly.
If it's contemporary, is that really tomorrow?
It's how do I put this?
Is it a today land and a Tomorrowland?
No, it's more like how do I put it? I guess it's like postmodern architecture, if you will. So there you go.
Hooray.
To me it's the other one, the old sign was very busy. It was like very, to me, very 90s. This one it's very today in that it's extremely plain. Yeah.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, it's just like an archway with a circle with a white archway with a circular that expands into like a circular thing, and it just says Tomorrowland on it. And it's all in white. Yep.
That's very disappointing.
I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, it's not, to me, it's never been too much about the entryway. It's always been about what's inside. So, and as we just discussed, there's lots of fun inside, and there's more fun on the way. Now, clearly, we would be remiss if we didn't mention, at least briefly, what you can do for food while you're in Tomorrowland. And
let this be known that this is another time you've brought up food.
The only there's a couple of different options. Most of them are snack options, and some of them are not. Some of them are seasonal options. They're not usually open, like Tomorrowland Terrace Cafe.
That's right.
That one traditionally just opens for the fireworks dessert parties.
Yeah.
And then there's the lunching pad at the Rocket Tower Plaza, which is like right underneath the People Mover and the Astro Orbiter ride. And again, you're kind of looking at a solid snack place. Nothing that really piques my interest personally. As you can tell, I'm just kind of breezing through these things. Cool Ship and Anti-Gravity's Galactic Goodies, which is where you're going to get like ice cream and smoothies. But the main highlight, I think, for most of the people who do any dining in Tomorrowland is Cosmic Rays Starlight Cafe.
Yes.
And they've got an audio animatronic alien in there playing songs named Sunny Eclipse. And I know he's a highlight for a lot of people who journey through that area. They like to get food at Cosmic Rays and sit down and enjoy the musical stylings of Sunny Eclipse.
Yeah, and it's burgers. There's salads you can get. I think they do their like Caesar salad.
Half rotisserie chicken sometimes.
Yep.
I think chicken sandwiches as well, and fish sandwiches. They actually have 3 different bays, and each one has a different menu. And of course the toppings that you can get on those sandwiches is also another big draw.
Yeah, the Fixins bar.
Yep. Yeah.
They used to be able to do the pumped cheese. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I used to enjoy going to, there was a couple of times, and particularly one time I did one solo trip to Disney World, and I really enjoyed this. I went over to Cosmic Rays, and I think I got their half rotisserie chicken with some green beans and mashed potatoes and gravy. It was delicious, by the way. And went they had some outside seating, and they have since enclosed the entire restaurant. But at that time, they had some outside seating before they enclosed it in, and I went to that outside seating and just ate my lunch with the perfect view of Cinderella Castle. And I mean, it was just absolutely beautiful, and I just got to sit there, eat my lunch, and soak in, that quintessential Disney atmosphere for a while, and it was really, really neat. And I think you can still do that. It's just that you're inside. You're guaranteed inside, pretty much. So, yep, you have to do it from the other side of a piece of glass, but still, it is really, really neat to be able to have, I guess, lunch with a view.
My big memories of that one is escaping the rain. Pouring, jump inside, enjoy the rain from inside. There's some good food there. I think if I'm going to get food, though, at Magic Kingdom, I don't know if I'm going to go to Cosmic Rays, if I'm going to do the quick service.
Yeah. Well, usually I don't even find myself in that area of the park around lunchtime, just by virtue of the way I plan out my day at Magic Kingdom. So that being the case, I, like you, usually am hunting up something a little less traditional.
Yeah. I mean, the coldest take of the day, this is not a hot take, the best quick service you can find, that I think, in my opinion, is in Epcot. So...
Yeah, there's
the
so
Land
many
Pavilion.
good walk-ups in Epcot.
The Land Pavilion, that's the best massive food court quick service.
Well, you'll get no argument from me.
But in Disney, it's the whole thing. In Magic Kingdom, I think Columbia Harbor House but that's so subjective. Columbia Harbor House,
Yeah.
Pinocchio's Village, and then Pecos and Cosmic Rays.
Yeah, it's very subjective. There's a lot of different takes on that, but in my opinion, that's one of the things that makes Magic Kingdom great, is that there's variety and people can pick what they really want.
Yeah, there's a lot and of course there is lots of shops in there. Buzz Lightyear shop, the Merchants of Venice. That's like yours.
Not Venice. We're not in Italy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Yeah, Merchant of Venus, which is stuff you could get on Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
Star Traders and the Space Mountain shop, which is the swag that you can purchase after having been on the ride.
Yep.
They
do have some Star Wars merch in there.
Yes, that's right. And you can get your custom phone cases, I believe, in the Space Mountain shop.
Yeah.
There's a lot you could do. Now, did you know that the Tomorrowland in Disneyland Paris is based off of Jules Verne?
Oh yeah, I did read that somewhere. That makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
I mean, he's French, so, but they originally, Tomorrowland had a lot of influencing by Jules Verne in the American parks as well.
Yeah.
But because he's one of the fathers of the science fiction genre, so it's just one of those neat things. There's a lot you could do in Magic Kingdom, and we've only hit 2 of the lands that you could look at. And there are a lot more that we're going to be going through, and these aren't even the only ones. We're not going to just stay at Magic Kingdom. We're going to move around. But I think we should move into our next segment, Justin, which I think you own this one.
Yeah. So we're going to do a What in the World segment.
Is this a place that you could buy merchandise?
It is a place where you can buy things, and I guess to a degree merchandise would be included in that.
Does this what move?
Only if you move it.
So on its own, no.
No, not on its own.
Okay. Is it in Toy Story Land?
This is not in Toy Story Land.
Is it in Star Wars? Is it in the Star Wars area?
It is in the Star Wars area.
Okay, so it's in the Star Wars area. This is even harder because I've actually not seen Galaxy's Edge.
It
Is it a spacecraft?
is not a spacecraft.
Is it a droid?
It is not a droid.
Is it a ride? No,
It is
wait.
not.
Dang.
It is not a ride.
Is it a lightsaber?
It is not a lightsaber.
I feel like I'm really like hovering right around it. Is it in a restaurant?
I wouldn't say it's in a restaurant.
Okay. Doesn't move unless you move it. It's in Galaxy's Edge. It's not a spaceship. It's not a droid. Not a lightsaber. Oh my, this is really hard. I've like I said, I haven't been here yet. Is it a major plot point in any of the movies?
It's not a major plot point in any of the movies.
That's a bad question.
5 to go.
Yep. Is it a piece of set
In the park or in the movies?
in the park?
It is not a piece of set in the park.
Ugh. Is it part of the First Order?
No, it's not part of the First Order.
Well, I cut out at least a third of things. I got 3 questions, and I know I ain't getting this. This is not a person.
It is not. No, I specified that at the beginning. I will give you that one. This is a thing.
And you know what it is, and it's probably making you chuckle inwardly here, huh?
You've probably heard of it. I'll say that much for it.
Is it one of the speed runners or whatever those are?
No, it's not one of those.
I don't even know if they're still around Star Tours anymore. This is really hard because I've literally not been in this part of the park yet.
Yeah. You're gonna kick yourself for at least not asking one particular question if you don't ask it.
I'm sure you're right. Do people take pictures with it?
Yes.
Is it one of the walls?
No, it is not one of the walls.
All right, what is it?
All right, the question you should have asked way early on is, can I eat or drink it?
Oh.
And
Is it like the blue milk or the green milk?
It's the blue milk or the green milk, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Everyone I've heard, including you, say it's unusual.
It is unusual. The blue is better than the green.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah, it's kind of a slushy consistency in a way. It's non-dairy, and as would be most beverages, there are non-dairy just because lactose intolerant people are pretty widespread. So, but yeah, it's got like a berry flavor. It's pretty good. And then the green one's got a little bit more of a citrus flavor to it. And the first sip of the green kind of was a turnoff, but then the second sip was like, okay, you know what? It's not bad. And then it went on from there. But the blue is definitely better. It's one of those things that, especially given the price point and how much you get for the price point, I'm just like, if you're a big Star Wars fan, you got to try it at least once.
I can see that. When we were in, and it's the same thing when you go to the Wizarding World. Everyone gets the pumpkin juice and the
Butterbeer.
And the butterbeer. So that makes sense to me. Oh, you got to do it once. Yeah. Makes sense.
All right. Well, sorry you didn't get that one.
You know, it's okay.
All right. Well, we thank you for listening to this episode of Mickey's Earbuds. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, we encourage you to like and or subscribe, preferably both. Please leave a comment if you've got one, or a question if you've got one. And that's it.
Hey, guys, thanks for listening. So every time.
Yep. See you real soon.
Bye-bye.